Okay, pool players, like I said before, I'm kind of running out of things to do, and I have a couple ideas for my next ones, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to do the pattern racking, and I'm going to do a little different version. I'm going to do the easy version, the hard version, and a neutral version, and see what happens. The idea between this easy one is it's basically called odd even, and they're in a certain pattern. If you break on this side or that side, I'll show you my cheat sheet when I'm done. And the idea is to have all the low balls down on this side of the table, the high balls on that side of the table, so you don't have to go back and forth to run out. And again, you're pretty much just trying to get the wing ball in, which is the 4 in this case. And then normally I'm kind of torn between trying to make the 1 and get shape on the 1 down here. But I'm actually going to try to make the 1 on this one too. So if the 2 doesn't get kicked, it should be down here, and the 3 should come around and go from there. Well, I almost made the cue ball, but you see how the 1's down here, the 2's down here, the 3's down here, and then the 7, 8, and 9 are neutral down here. So that actually works out, you know. I mean, the only thing we did 35 years ago before I quit for 32 years ago was we would put the 2 down here to hide it. In this case scenario, we had the 2 down here and it'll come around. The 3 will come around, and that's how it builds that up. I hit that 1 a little off. I went towards this way. I might even got a little kick. I don't know, but that pattern did work out. So, you know, the catch-22 with this, and let me get my cheat sheet, and I'm gonna show you this when I'm done. Now we're gonna go to the hard rack, or the tougher rack, and explain that. And there's other videos on YouTube about this, and I don't have this memorized because I never used a pattern rack. I had done a lot of breaking in my time. Matter of fact, I've spent hours just breaking at times, and I try to still today. I try to practice my break as much as I play, and I practice my break more than I do drills. So this pattern is now considered the hardest, and again, from this side it's that pattern, so it's not odd and even. But the idea behind this one is to separate the balls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or vice versa. The 8 is on the end in this case, so 8 down here, 7 split. And that actually, the 7 would be better to be down here with that 8. And so in a way, I would maybe alternate that. And the interesting thing why I want to do this too is because back when I was in college, I was a member at an unlimited play pool hall. When I was playing, like, I don't know, 50, 60 hours a week and going to school, I had a statistic class in my business courses, and I did a statistic report on breaking 9-ball, 100 breaks. And so it's kind of interesting though. I never really pattern racked. I just racked one of the front 9 in the middle and said where every ball goes most consistently and when. But sometime along the way in the last 35 years or whatever, they have now figured out that last pattern that they say puts the low balls here and the high balls there. And now this pattern, which is the hard one, is supposed to separate them. So let's see how that goes. And I'm basically going to try to break about the same. This is my new bulletproof clear brake tip that I just put on from my 32-year-old LaPro brake Q-tip. So I'm still getting used to it. I did lose it a little bit that one, the last one. But I try to brake at about 85% control. And This one I'll try to keep a little more centered, but let's see if this pattern still works out too. Okay, so I made the 3. We got the 1 down here, the 2 down there. The 3 was coming down here, the 4 would have been neutral, but then you got the 4, the 5, the 6 was buried, the 7 down here, and the 8 down there. So in a way, I see the strategy behind that, but I actually would maybe alternate a few things because of that statistical report that I did. God, I wish I could get a copy of that too, man. Jesus. And again, it makes a difference if you're breaking from this side, how you pattern them. I'm going to show you my cheat sheet. But that did work out in the first one, work out on the second one. I'm going to now do a rack of a neutral rack that I do. And I do it for a couple reasons. One of the things that I like about it is it's not stacking the rack. And number 2, I considered a neutral rack. And also, none of the balls touch in sequence. So, and again, breaking from this side or that side, I never calculated that out, but I do break from both sides. But let me show you how this one plays out. And I don't know if I wrote that on my cheat sheet or not. This one slid off a little bit. I don't like that, how that's set up. Hold on. But that was kind of cool. So you can see how they didn't have this pattern racking or YouTube stuff 35 years ago for us. But so this one, I do this for a couple reasons. One is because a lot of tournaments will have you put the 2 in the back. Well, now Matchroom, the 9 is on the middle and it's the cut break, but I'm using traditional. But my key is that I didn't want any balls touching each other, and I didn't want to have any specific balls that way or any specific balls this way. It's just random. So you may get 2 of them together, and then you may get 2 of them opposite. And so I don't know if I put, oh no, I did put my version down there, which is the neutral version. So I noticed that with this new hard tip, but I also got this X5. I had a video of that. It looks like, and I can't really see because I don't have my readers, my contacts are in, but it looks like I might have cracked my shaft. It's not really affecting my break too much. It doesn't sound too funny. But anyway, so again, let's see what happens with my neutral break. Kind of go from there then. This one will not be one or the other. At least it shouldn't be. Okay, so I made the wing ball, which obviously was the 7 in that scenario. So the 1, 2, 3 are down here. The 2's down here because it was on the end, which is, like I said before, is how some tournaments want people to do it. The 1 didn't go on the side, so that's still here. But I do have the 1, 2, 3 down here, and then for some reason I have all the balls down here. So that was kind of a funky, I mean, I hit it hard. I mean, I guess I could probably try to break that neutral one again, because I don't know why so many balls are down on this side of the table. I know it happens. Try that again real quick. This is my break that I usually use, because we obviously know the first 2 worked out the way it was supposed to. Easier and harder. Oh, and that was the other thing I wanted to say is that if you do pattern rack, which the only thing we used to do back in the day was hide the 2 down here or down here, depending on what side they were breaking from. But what I was going to say is, we didn't have that pattern racking back then other than that. And I mean, this stuff is like, it worked. I mean, I've done it before and it does work. So this is my neutral brake again. Let's just see. We already saw that the other two did work, and then I'll show you the cheat sheet so you know. I drew it back a little bit again, and this is my new bullseye tip. I just made a video on that. I don't think I've broke maybe 30 times with this thing since, from my old Pro 35 years ago. So I got the 1 down here, then I have to go to 4, then the 5, then the 6, then the 7, then the 8. So my neutral rack in this scenario, I think actually played pretty neutral but tough. And I never really paid attention to it. When I would practice, I try to brake a lot, but I never pattern rack. So this is it here. And it depends on what side you're braking from. But let's see if I can get this whole thing in here so you could see it and take a screenshot. Those are your different scenarios of, I can't see the middle because of my phone. Then you take another picture. That's my neutral one there. And that's the toughest on the left, or the hardest depending on where you're braking from, and the easier on that side. So you should get an idea from that. But it actually does work. And I see the point. Oh, that's the other thing I was gonna say, is that here's the problem, is if you make a rack easy and you can get a dry brake, now you just left your opponent an easier run out than they normally would have, and vice versa. If you rack it hard because they're braking in winter brakes and they get a dry brake out and they're the better player, you're going to have a tougher time to run out. So I haven't quite figured out yet. I mean, I know they changed these rules about winter brakes, loser brakes, or alternate brake. I guess you got to factor in, you know, what you're doing, what you're playing in. I never really paid attention to it. I just let the cards fall how the cards fall, and it is what it is. But I like the neutral brake because I had the 2 down here, which is what they kind of required. And then I didn't have any balls touching each other, and it wasn't pattern racking for one or the other. So anyways, I hope you liked the video, and my next videos, like I said, I'm running out of what to do. I think I'm going to do some playing the Ghost in 9-ball and 10-ball. But anyways, check out some of my previous videos. They're kind of cool. I got all kinds of stuff. Anyways, have a nice weekend. Or actually, it's only Tuesday. Have a nice week. Bye.